Hi guys, it's teacher Yolanda again. We are together now for session 2. For this session, we're going to need our English notebook, and that's it. Please go and get it. The topic of today's lesson is going to be tag questions. What are tag questions? They are used for confirming an idea. They start with a sentence in affirmative or negative. So first we have an idea. It could be a sentence in affirmative form, for example, this is the correct page, or in negative form, there aren't any candies left. And then you add a comma after that. Then we analyze the tense. This is the correct page. That is the verb to be in affirmative form. There aren't any candies left. That is the verb to be in negative form. The tag questions work this way. When your sentence is in affirmative form, the tag question for confirming is going to be in negative form, using exactly the same tense. If your original sentence is in negative, your tag question for confirming it's going to be in affirmative. Let's see some examples. We continue with the first sentence. This is the correct page. This is has the verb is. Now, if we follow the rule, the other part has to be in negative. So it is, this is the correct page, isn't it? So can you see this question is for confirming what we have just said. The next one, there aren't any candies left. This is verb to be in negative. Our tag question has to be with the verb to be, but now in affirmative form. There aren't any candies left. Are there? Can you see? We also need to have a change of intonation. This is the correct page, isn't it? There aren't any candies left. Are there? Yes, you have to make it clear that you want some confirmation from the other person. We can do this with more tenses rather than the verb to be only. For example, here, she won't come. Will she? If we analyze it, our tense in the sentence is won't come. That means is future will. As the original one is in negative, the tag question will be in affirmative. Will she? Pay attention, the subject is the same. Now, let's look at the next sentence. You can help us, can't you? Can. In affirmative, the tag question takes can't. Now, I don't have to copy this later, do I? So, I don't have to. It's simple present. Now the tag question would be in affirmative. Do I? And bad news, guys, you do have to copy this later. Don't worry, it's in the PDF file, so you can copy it later. Not everything can be easy and fabulous, so we have to start with difficult ones and exceptions. As usual, simple present and simple past give us horrible headache. Simple present is not simple at all, and simple past is not simple at all. Pay attention to this one. This is in third person. It says she likes pizza. Likes in negative would be doesn't like. Remember that. So our tag question has to be doesn't she? Why doesn't? Because the negative of simple present is don't and doesn't. So even though here we don't have do or does, we have to add it because in negative and interrogative they do exist. Now, this is for a she. Now let's check it with the other subjects, the ones that are I, you, we, and they. The verb is in normal form. They go. They go to the same school. They go, how do you transform it in negative? You need don't. So now we have to add don't they. Why? Because the negative of simple present is don't and doesn't. That's why we really need to be careful. That's why the first step is always to identify the original tense in the sentence. So then we can decide what is the correct tag question. Simple past. The same happens in affirmative. In affirmative, you only need a verb in past. You saw the teacher's video. How do we make negatives in simple past? With this. So it would be, you saw the teacher's video, didn't you? Okay, so these are the only ones which don't have the same auxiliary in the affirmative form, and when we transform it into negative form, we really need to be careful. Always pay attention to the original tense. Let's go to more difficult exceptions. Let's. What's the meaning of let's? Let's means vamos. That is a tense that it's actually kind of imperative. So it doesn't have an auxiliary. You say let's dance. Let's order tacos. What word are we going to use for confirming or inviting the person further? We're going to use shall. Remember that shall is the present of should. Shall is a word that we don't use a lot in modern English, but in Old English it was quite common. So every time you see a sentence with let's, our tag question will be formed with shall. For example, let's dance. Shall we? Let's order tacos. Shall we? That's when you invite someone and you want to confirm whether they want to do that activity with you or not. Okay? And let's check some further examples. Now, easy ones, thanks God. Let's pay more attention to these ones. All of these have the same auxiliary, so they are not going to be difficult for all of us. The first one says, they haven't called. What is the original sentence in? Haven't called. We have the auxiliary have and the verb in past participle. That sentence is in present perfect. So we use exactly the same auxiliary and we finish with have they. He shouldn't do that. Should he? They didn't listen. Did they? You wouldn't tell the teacher, would you? That can't be true. Can it? So basically our tag questions are confirming. They are a synonym of right. Let's read them again. They haven't called. Have they? He shouldn't do that. Should he? They didn't listen. Did they? You wouldn't tell the teacher, would you? That can't be true, can it? So we are confirming, we are checking if our ideas are correct. I hope you understand this. Remember, we are not going to make a review of the tenses. If you need to check your tenses, simple present, simple past, present continuous, past continuous, future will, future going to, present perfect, all of these are in your English notebook. Just check your pages and review the formulas. Please do that. That would be nice. Even though in our 15 days, our fortnight, when we finish seeing each other before our spring break, I gave you some grammar exercises to check and review the things that you had to do, okay? So check those exercises again. And remember that should you have any questions, write your questions in your Superminds blog and I will pay attention to all of them. Last but not least, today we're going to have our revision. Remember, there is a PDF file that Teacher Javier handed to you about this session. It has exactly the same cover as the beginning of this video, so please follow the instructions there, do the exercises in the correct notebook, which is the English notebook, and answer the exercises. Remember, the exercises you don't need to copy them if you don't want to, if you are too lazy, so you can print them and just paste them. It's up to you. Both decisions are fine. And well, see you in a few minutes. That will be all for today's video. Bye!